For most of us, the word conflict is a trigger word. It triggers associations to things like aggression, fighting, arguments, confrontation. And we also tend to associate conflict with feelings like anger, hostility, irritation, frustration. It's no wonder that the idea of conflict is so unsettling for most of us. When we're leaders, though, we can't afford to be timid about conflict. As leaders, we'll likely encounter situations where we'll need to help resolve a conflict between two other people. For example, it might be a conflict between two team members, or it might be a conflict between a team member and someone else in the organization. What's more, though, research shows that a leader's inability to effectively manage conflict in the workplace not only leaves negative outcomes, it undermines the credibility of the leader. So as leaders, we need to be armed and skilled with tools that help us deal with conflict effectively. One place to start is to reframe the way we think about conflict. Not to think of conflict as fighting or confrontation. Rather, conflict in essence is simply a state where there's a difference between two people, and those differences seem incompatible. These may be differences in perspectives, opinions, or points of view, or they could be differences in needs, wants, or expectations. Conflict is simply a state where there are differences between two people. Now, thinking about conflict in this way is helpful because it neutralizes the idea of conflict. And when we can think of conflict in more neutral terms, that allows us to be more willing to step into conflict. And quite frankly, stepping into conflict is something that has to happen for conflict to get resolved. When it comes to conflict, the only way out is through. So when conflicts arise, we need to step in. We need to have conversations and talk through the differences together because it's well known that's the only way to resolve a conflict. So we encourage you and all leaders to develop skills and tools around managing and resolving conflict. You might start with our book, Live as a Leader, because in it you'll find a complete chapter fully devoted to understanding conflict and how to communicate through it. Whether you start there or somewhere else, make conflict resolution part of your leadership learning plan. It will not only build your strength and confidence as a leader in the face of conflict, it will enhance your credibility in the eyes of those you lead. See you next time.